Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. Today we're going to have a very special reading. It's so different. It is about what I am calling the Planet Parade. And it's a very special, very rare planetary alignment that is occurring, I think, on the 25th of January. And the moon is also included. And this is not conjunction, an astrological conjunction. This is an alignment in our solar system. So it's a different way. It's not a specific aspect in this case, but it's a planetary alignment that can be seen. And I think that only Uranus and Neptune will not be visible um, without a telescope, but the rest of them, you can see them aligned in the sky. So if you have good luck with the weather, you can see all the planets in our solar system except for Uranus and Neptune, I think. And you can see them with the naked eye. It's very beautiful special event. I think I won't be able to see it, but if you are lucky enough, just be sure not to lose this opportunity. It's a very rare event. So I have decided to use this energy of the planetary parade to inspire our reading today. So in the first pile, we have Virgo, Cancer, Gemini, and Capricorn. It's a bit darker today because I'm filming this at night, so hopefully everything's okay with the lighting. Okay, first card, we have Practicality with the Moon in Capricorn. The second pile has the zodiac signs Sagittarius, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus. And your card is the Sun in Leo with Fortune. On the third pile, we have Aquarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Leo. And your card is Saturn in Libra with Devotion. Okay. I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile using your card, your zodiac sign, or your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, your card is Practicality. The Moon in Capricorn, and it's about it's a really hard one for me. Due diligence. Sorry for that. And that's funny. Because now I got other ideas because I was having trouble speaking. I see that maybe there's a lot of work being done with communication. I think that although the theme of the reading for me is about something that you're working on for sure, and possibly more connected to your career, but I think that with the moon here, there's a lot of effort to put your ideas into words or concepts that can be worked on, and maybe it's also a way of collaborating, so of calling people to your project. So communication, it's like a practical communication can also be a practical application of your skills. So, because there's a feminine aspect to this card that's very interesting, because the meaning of the card can also include having the blessing or the protection or the guidance of a very important, a very significant feminine energy in your life, like a mother energy. So someone who is guiding you, who is also helping you to achieve what you want. Okay. There's also an aspect here of aesthetics and orderly beauty. There's symmetry, there's repetition, there's a pattern here, and it's kind of elegant. Although there's this effort, this constant effort to do things, there's also this compounding effect to it that just becomes more and more elegant and more sublime. So this planetary alignment is possibly connecting you to the people who can, it's like a chain reaction, creating a chain of events and a chain reaction. It just unites people with a purpose, a very specific purpose that is very elegant and sublime. And I also think that you are one of the privileged ones to have access to the meaning, having access to meaning. That's a very profound connection to your life's purpose. So I think that this planetary parade is going to show you a deeper connection to your life's purpose. Okay, let's see what else. It's already quite strong. Okay, let's see if we have some more of this oracle that I love. It's an astrological oracle, so I thought it would be the best one for this specific reading. Okay, we have enough. Let's see. So we have a little child and success in love. Once again, I'm feeling this very aesthetic, elegant, romantic feeling. There's nostalgia. There's romance, there's nostalgia, there's this connection to spirit. And once again, you can also see the symmetry here in the fish. It's like design, art, design, something elegant. Also like having a lot of options, having a lot of toys, or a lot of different avenues, a lot of different options, talents, skills, maybe being trained in different skills, or like elevating different skills, honing them, working on them. Very soft energy, very gentle, very feminine too. Okay. Affair with Venus in Leo. Quarrel with Mars in Cancer. The moon in Aquarius with independence. Did it focus? This is hard today. Yeah, it's because of the lighting. And negotiation with Jupiter in Libra. Once again, this very feminine energy that is very forgiving, I feel, and embracing. And I feel like there's this need, or someone who has the power to soften the edges, to soften the parts where it's rough. And when people disagree, there's someone here that is calming the different aspects, that is very calming. It's very very feminine, very elegant. I feel like you have someone in your life who is making things easier for you, softening the edges for you. It might also be that you are achieving this in your life with your own, self-development and self-knowledge. This might be something that you're working on. Like, how can I reconcile these opposite views? Or how can I combine these different ingredients that I want to merge together? And I want them, it's like I want them to dance together. I don't want them to clash. It might also be that you will have to deal with these two energies in the same relationship, or in the same place, in the same theme, or with a specific person that might have these two aspects to them, like a very soft, very pleasing and easygoing temperament. But then they can change into a more confrontational presence. Okay. Let's see what the tarot has to say about this planetary parade. Remember, it's something that you can see with the naked eye mostly. And to me, that means that it's something that you can, it's like you can put it into your brain once you see it. So it's like a programming, like a specific code that you can upload into your mind, upload into your memory if you see it. Of course, that some people might not see it, but they're still able to access it. But I think it's very special if you can see it. So if you can search for it, and maybe even like see a lot of the time there are like videos, like live feeds of astronomical events. I think that would be amazing if you would sync, all together, like watching, because we are watching like a drama, like a cosmic opera, a cosmic drama. And it's a metaphor for us. It's a way to connect to our deepest places, also our sense of connection to the universe also. So as above, so below. Okay. The Prince of Swords. This is the King of Swords. Death card. Seven of Swords with futility. Three of Swords with pain. The Queen of Swords. Interesting. You have the Queen and the King. The Ace of Swords. Wheel of Fortune. The Hermit. Okay. This is a completely different aspect to this. Let me just see where this is going so that I can understand the why. The Five of Pentacles. The Prince of Cups. So this is the King of Cups. To me, this is feeling like recovering lost love. It might be someone who is coming back into your life, or just a feeling that is coming back. Something is making a comeback to me. Something is returning. Something is being returned to you. And it's all about clearing things up in your mind. There's so many, it's just swords. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sword cards. And I feel like someone is kind of showing you like the best way to do something. That's why maybe by the end of this process, you will feel like something came back to you. It's like a part of your soul comes back to you. Something that's really precious, that you love, something that you feel a connection to. And but there's this part here that's really intriguing for me, which is this fortune, the Wheel of Fortune with the Seven of Swords. It's like something is fated, but it's like it's hidden. Moon. I also chose this deck because this deck is also has a lot of astrological information. Saturn in Libra, Moon in Aquarius. We also have Moon in Aquarius here. Independence. It's like you're supposed to be independent. So I feel like you have to separate from a certain way of doing things, or from a person who does things in a certain way, so that you can do things your way. There's a very, like, I put on my personal stamp on this. This is mine. And the fact that you do that, it can represent a movement away from something, but it also represents something being returned to you, something that is then like bestowed. But definitely, I feel like this is talking to me about a relationship and how to open yourself to relationships, how to work with relationships, how to welcome relationships, and also how to use relationships in your work, in your career, how to use them in a way that you feel like you're not losing. There's a there's also an aspect of emotional control here. Hmm. Okay. I want to know more. This is it's a lot. Okay. The Princess of Discs, or the Page of Discs, the Two of Discs, the Prince of Discs, or the King, the Five of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. There's definitely a need for some sort of closure, some sort of like achieving a certain independence from a situation, an emotional control. I had to stop for a bit and take a breath because, yeah, sometimes the readings can be quite overwhelming because the information is just goes too deep, and I need to kind of remove some layers so that I can see. So, you remember in the beginning of the reading, I was saying that there's this feminine energy, like a mother-like figure that is kind of smoothing the edges for you, is kind of smoothing a certain energy out for you because there's a fighting energy there. And I think that that person is making a very elegant and kind effort to get to smooth, any rough feelings, any cruelty. This is the cruelty card, the Nine of Swords. And it's a very dark, heavy energy. And I wasn't understanding why it was here. And I feel like this is something that you have to lose. That's why there's the Five of Pentacles here. And like there's supposed to be an emotional growth that is quite significant that has to happen, but that happens because there's a conflict that is resolved, and it's something that is it's quite like archetypal. It's something that's very deep in your psyche. It's deeply rooted in your psyche. It's something that there's possibly kind of like a mental loop that keeps occurring, and it's like there's a hidden escape that will make itself be it will show itself once you do something. And the practicality here, it's in this bottom part. And it's the first card. So this is like, to me, the practical application of the resolution of this conflict. I'm so sorry if this is just not for some of you, but it's very specific maybe. But there's a conflict here with a feminine energy. Now, what I don't understand is if there's another feminine energy that is helping and helping to solve this conflict, or if it's the same, like if it's some sort of like mother wound or like a crisis in your relationship with motherhood or with your own mother. There's something here about that like matrilineal emotional baggage or growth or development. So what does the trick here is facing it somehow. There's this combativeness that is needed, but with the smooth elegance. This is quite interesting because the Hermit and the Five of Wands is kind of paradoxical to me, because the Hermit is about retreating. It's not about giving up. It's not about defeat, but it is about retreating, about not engaging. But then you have the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands is completely about engagement, going towards something. And to me, this is all an advice. Like, how you can address this situation is by working on yourself, working, backstage, but also coming to the surface occasionally. And when you come to the surface, you have this like abrupt energy in a way that kind of is in your face for many people. And for someone in particular, I feel it's quite painful. Maybe it can be very triggering to see you. So maybe there's also this need to soften that. Now, it's not your responsibility to do that for others. But you can do that to yourself if you're feeling like affected by other people's reactions. Maybe it's just a specific person that really has this kind of knee-jerk reaction to something that you express or something that you do that is quite unique to you. And maybe there's this interaction that can be a bit rough, sometimes a bit there's conflict, there's opposition. But I think that that's not what's supposed to happen. That's not how it's supposed to go. There is an emotional depth and an emotional resolution to this issue. I was seeing something in the card. It's like there's a pattern. There's a pattern that you can switch off or on, depending on what you need to happen. What depending on your needs and what you want to produce. There's a pattern. So maybe you could write like like automatic writing about a specific subject that might be triggering, that might be kind of rough for you. Maybe it's better if you kind of exercise before you speak, or if you kind of train. It's like choosing your words, choosing your ideas very carefully, having an intellectual understanding of what's happening, and applying that in a practical exercise. And then once you emerge from your thoughts or your backstage work, when you face the outer world, you will have an answer, like ready to go. You're always ready to answer because there's something on the top of your mind that came from the depths of your emotional richness and abundance. Your world is so rich. There's this need to alternate between these emotional depths and this outer conflict with something in your reality, something in your vicinity that has to be negotiated with. Having the assistance of this feminine energy and being conscious about it, being aware of that energy is going to also help you a lot in this process. It can also be that you're dealing with someone who is not in control of their emotions. So once you start doing something, they kind of go, crazy and all over the place, and it's hard for them to contain. And the only way to face that is by being a little bit, warrior-like, querulous, being a little bit pushy, let's say. Because maybe just doing things like in the backstage is great for yourself, not really for producing any effects. I think that if you try to do things like sly, being foxy, I don't think it will be helpful. You have to be a little bit more in your face, but at the same time with a great emotional control. So maybe a bit of sense of humor can also help, a bit of like this childlike playful, humorous approach can also be helpful. It can be interpreted as something sweet. It can be received as something sweet, because there's a lot of negativity here. There's a lot of sadness that you must interact with in order to continue, and it can be a little bit annoying and irritating if you let yourself be too involved in the conflict. I feel like this is like a to be continued. I could be here a lot longer, and it's too long already, so I'm going to stop for now. But I feel like this reading has a to be continued titled to it, so maybe it will develop further in future readings, but I will leave it to spirit to tell me how this feminine energy is interacting with your life, how you can flow with it and use it to smooth the ride for yourself, but also maybe for someone who is having it a lot rougher than you and maybe is going through a lot of pain. And that can also affect your work somehow. Okay. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button. I am almost on the 500 subscribers, so please help me get there. It's a big milestone for me. So, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Pile number 2. Your card is Fortune, Sun in Leo, and it is about fortune. It is about success in every endeavor. It's about good luck. It's about achievement. It's about getting what you want, what you desire. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, I have a card that's reversed here. I'll just shuffle it again a little bit and see what comes out. So what is this planetary parade bringing for pile number 2? We have bereavement, marriage. Oops, today it's hard to focus. And hope, big water. It's quite hard today to focus. It's a lot darker. Okay, beautiful. Let's see. What else do we have for the planetary parade? A lot of cards. We have secrets with Venus in Scorpio. Order with Moon in Virgo. Sun in Cancer with resourcefulness. Discrimination with the Venus in Virgo. And finally, we have Moon in Aquarius with independence. Okay. So what? Oh, we have a jumper. Oh, many. Okay, let's start with these 3 and see. 5 of Cups. Death card. And the Page of Wands. These heels here, they look so similar, and the sun just rising on the horizon. I feel like you're just about to get what you want, like you're just on the verge of getting something that you want, and you keep the faith and you keep the light, you hold that torch. You hold that torch and you go towards something that's very important to you. And it's about choosing. It's also about choosing who you want to be with, how you want to relate to that person or to that group of people, and Who are they? How you choose the people around you can determine your success. And it might also be the case that that is success. So if you have the right choice, if you make the right choice, sorry, and you get that special person, or you get that special job, like a group of people, a special group of people, if you get access to that, that's a win. That's an achievement for you, and you are keeping that hope alive, and you are going for it. I really feel like there's a lot of inner resources being accessed for this. I feel like this alignment can also bring you a new opportunity in your career, maybe like a proposal, and it can feel like it comes when you are almost losing hope, like you're almost giving up, but things are getting done while you are not looking. Things are being kind of cooked when you're not looking, when you're not, something is being done away from your presence, something that doesn't need your presence. And it's like a roll of the dice, and then you throw the dice and you just pray. There's this moment of kind of giving it up to God, delivering, opening your energy to the world. Because there's this hopeful, very high-minded, very it's like having a very high standard of order. So I guess there's this like dreaming big, this concept of having very high expectations of others, but also with yourself, like having a very clear sense of a moral order, or having a very clear idea of what you want. And maybe that's also what delayed things a little bit for you, because with the bereavement here, I feel like you have experienced losing hope that this could happen. But I think that the gift of this alignment is that you're getting it, something is lighting your torch again, something is really rekindling that fire. And I think that it comes from having news from something that was done while you weren't looking, or something that was done outside of your sphere of influence, outside of your circle. And that's why maybe it's so important for you to choose wisely who you connect with at this point. 8 of Cups. Yeah, who is the influence, like the main influence in your life? 6 of Cups. Something from the past coming back. King of Swords. Maybe it's a person. Maybe it's an idea, like a very clear vision of things. The Hermit. Doing things your own way, doing things how you envision it's like you have it's like you come to a point in your life where you can choose who you work with and what you do. And that's something that you've hoped for, that's something that you've dreamt for a long time. Like there's an opportunity here coming for you. I feel like you'll be presented with an opportunity. The Three of Swords. The Devil. And the Three of Cups. Wow. I feel like you'll be tempted, but you will make the right choice. Sorry, this card really wanted to jump. Yeah. I think that you will be tempted because someone will kind of trigger your fears or they're like, oh, don't do that because it's so dangerous. It's you're going to lose everything and it's so risky. Someone is going to kind of create this story in your mind that's kind of a nightmarish vision of what could happen, what could go wrong. And I think that they want to trigger that so that you give up on something that you're trying to do. But I don't think you're going to fall for that because you are now accessing the resources to choose something for yourself that doesn't really need the approval of specific people. It's like putting specific people in their own specific places and spaces so that each one of them has the right input in your life to help you succeed, to help you achieve what you want, which I think is independence and the ability to choose to be, so the freedom, having freedom. You'll be presented with a choice or many choices. With discrimination, there's a lot of different butterflies. Like this one has a darker pattern, this one's lighter, this has the yellow, this also has yellow, but it has the blue. It's a lot of things to consider, a lot of little details that might need to be carefully considered so that you can make a choice that's good for you and that kind of frees you. It frees you, it liberates you from something very oppressive, something very, it's like a bondage situation, a connection that is unhealthy. Judgment. I feel like for some of you, hopefully not many of you, this can also mean like a legal battle, that it could be like a marriage that is coming to an end and that you need to be freed. There's this feeling of needing independence, needing freedom. And I think that you'll be tempted into some sort of a deal that's like a deal with the devil. It's like selling your soul or selling something that is that removes freedom from you. So I think that you will be able to retain all freedom. You just have to be very careful of whatever you sign, like documents, or how people are acting, if they're being honest, if they want to manipulate you and to make you feel like you are covered and that you're safe, and then kind of turn on you, but not in a sense that, I don't think that this has to be in a sense that makes you like paranoid or just afraid of everything. Quite the contrary. I feel like if you are careful with choosing the right butterfly, that's how you can relax and not be afraid. That's exactly what needs to happen, what needs to be done. Because there's a lot, there can be a lot of intellectual effort here, and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's coming. So yeah, but let's get just one more. The Hanged Man. Huh. Okay. And the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So I see a complete change of fortune here. This is really seeing things in a completely different way, and also realizing how some things were happening behind the scenes and were changing things for you. And it's going to seem like a miracle of sorts. Ah, I think that you're going to see somewhat of a miracle happen for you, because maybe you were thinking like, there's no way, I have lost too much, I am too far away from what I want, there's too much pain in this, there's a lot of pressure keeping you in place, there's someone or something kind of, I even feel like this energy of like blackmailing you, or like keeping you, it's not only keeping you stuck, it's just keeping you hopeless, keeping your dreams small or something away from you. But then suddenly, I think that with this alignment, and specifically on the 25th, you will see a very sharp change, like from night to day, and possibly something happening at sunrise. It's like it's the dawn of a new day, and you will get to be free and choose something for you, choose something better, choose a better way. The end of a contract, the end of an obligation, the end of some sort of oppressive situation, some sort of like a marriage or an agreement that wasn't working for you, and finally there's a new level that's unlocked here and that frees you. There's a change of fortune, a complete change, a complete turnaround. Things turn around for you, and you get to say, and you get your say, and you get to make the rules of what you want, of the new day, of the new life. It's like building a whole new life with new rules, a new set of rules. And it's such a turnaround that you are going to feel like it's a miracle, like it's such a blessing, it's such a miracle that this is happening. You were almost losing hope, but you had high standards, you had a very beautiful vision for yourself, and then suddenly you see like there's a way to manifest this, and there's a way to materialize this, to make this happen for me, to have people around me who can help me get this also, to choose. I get to choose who is around me. I don't have to just conform or to be content with something that isn't working. I also feel like there was this attempt that was being made either from you or like a joint effort with someone else, or just from another person, like trying to convince you of something, and it's not going to work. You're going to do things your way. because maybe this change can also be painful for other people, and that pain can sometimes be transmitted in a way or trigger you in a way. And but I think that that's going to change because the people around you will also change. So this can be like changing jobs or changing an environment, or just friends that are not available anymore once you start doing things in a certain way that might be like disagreeable for a specific group of people, but it's fine. There's a letting go here, and it's a new day. It's a completely new life. There are new rules, and once you apply them, there are going to be people who might not agree and who might be triggered. So, very clear message. And this planetary alignment, this planet parade is kind of opening the path for you towards this new day. Very interesting. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3. Your card is Devotion, Saturn in Libra. And this card is talking to me about any sort of relationship, any sort of agreement. And there's a lot of layers to this that I want them to be clarified by the other cards, because I see there's a lot of options here. And yeah. So while I'm drawing the cards, I would like to ask you to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I am very close to my big milestone of 500 subscribers. So, okay, we have one more card, or just one more. Yeah, and like and share the video if it resonates with you also. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of certainty in the cards today in this specific reading, which is interesting. Not a lot of doubts. Okay. Great happiness. And a little child. So this might be speaking to us about a marriage, a relationship, an agreement, a successful one. I think that it's something that might even produce children if it is a marriage or a relationship, a romantic relationship or a family relationship. It can also be a relationship with someone who has achieved a lot and can also add a lot to your life. It's like having a relationship with someone who gives you so much joy, and also it can also be someone who has a lot of possessions and a lot of wealth that can share with you because they have so much abundance. Or maybe someone who is very successful in their career, has achieved a lot, and can also share those achievements with you or teach you something that can help you achieve. We have Venus in Libra with indecision. Sun in Taurus with acquisition. Yeah. We have the Mars in Aquarius with rebellion. Did you see the card? Yeah. And Mercury in Capricorn with organization. Someone who can open the path for you, who can give you a lot of abundance so that you can go on your path, so that you can come out of the shadows. Something about the passage of time. So from being a little child to growing up or arranging something or going through, maybe it's like a coming of age story almost. Okay. 7 of Arrows with insecurity. Yeah, I think this is someone who is helping you be more confident, giving you the resources and the help. It's interesting that I can feel like in all of the readings that I did today, there's some sort of force, some sort of entity or energy that is helping you, that is kind of pushing things into place, even if it's in the shadows, but sometimes interacting with you so that you understand the path, so that you understand where to stand, where to move, where to step. It's very interesting. It's like this feeling of being guided, but it's not a very like abstract energy or just very subtle. I feel like it's very practical, so it is embodied, that there are people who are representing this energy in your life. It's something that I felt in all of the readings today, which is very interesting. Queen of Cups with Salmon. The Ancestor with the Hierophant. Yeah, I really feel like, once again, it might be a feminine energy, so like a motherly energy, or a woman who is very experienced and has gone through a lot, knows how to control and to harness their emotional power. They can be expressive, they are very, very knowledgeable and wise, like a wise woman, a wise old woman. And also, there's another aspect to this, which is being guided, being helped into expressing your emotions and into your own spirituality. So healing your emotional body and expressing your and walking towards your spiritual development, so towards the next step in your spiritual development. It can also be achieving a role in an organization that is very renowned or has a very good reputation, that is very highly regarded by everyone. It can be something related to the arts. It can be something legal also. It's certainly giving you access to abundance. 5 of Cups with ecstasy. 10 of Cups with happiness. The Journey. This is the Death card. Queen of arrows or Queen of Swords with swan, Ace of Cups with the waters of life. Okay. The Queen of Bows with hair, and the Eight of Cups with rebirth. So I just channeled something. I think that you're going to be pushed to the limit with something that you're going to see. So there's a vision that is coming to you in your mind's eye or in in your life, something that you see that kind of triggers a limit. It triggers some sort of a boundary, and I think that it's like pushing the limits. But I think it's something quite positive. I feel like you're actually going to feel quite enlightened when you have this vision. You're actually going to feel lighter or released from something. There's a vision, like a vision of what things can be, of it's like being a part of the next generation that does something quite remarkable and meaningful, and it's something that impacts your culture or a specific sector in culture. Okay, I want to get a different point of view for this. Masters, deepest fears, bravery, temperance, and selflessness. Okay. Do you have anything? Yeah. Secret with mystery, stability, protection, solitude, ordeal. And we have something else. Okay. Initiation, tradition, death and resurrection, spiritual medicine. And yeah, tradition, resurrection, truth, sincerity, clear path. Yeah, I feel like you're getting initiated into a tradition. This is the main concept. And how I'm interpreting this is that you are going to be introduced into an organization, an institution, or something that has a clear function in society, that has a very clear, it can also be cultural. I feel like there's something emotional to this also, but it can also be legal. And this specific organization or institution has the need for a refresh, the need for new generations to emerge, and you are going to be part of that movement. Something of your contribution is going to be very precious. And also, this institution or entity is going to contribute immensely to your spiritual growth, to your development as a person. And it's also possible that this change, this alignment, might make you famous, or some sort of there's like being a public figure. There's this energy here. There's like a point in this sequence of events where you are going to be pushed to the limit. Like, this is not my normal life. So life stops being normal and starts being something like an archetypal life. So you are possibly integrating an archetype, and that means that you will be channeling an energy that is way beyond your personal sphere and your personal experience. You will start to interact with energies that are so much bigger, and that entity will also back you and help you to face those situations, so that when you stand in front of an audience, or in front of of something that challenges you, possibly, you will stand your ground and feel safe because there's a lot behind you. There's a lot to know. There's the roots are very deep. So you are going to have this tradition that holds things in place and that keeps things together so that you are not wobbly and you're not easily swayed, let's say, so that you stand strong. So I feel like this reading is kind of warning you that it will come a time when you feel like there's a vision. Okay, this could happen. Oh my God, this is happening. It's really quick. It's like, this could happen. Is this real? It's happening. And it's quite quick. So the surrender needs to be the acceptance, and the surrender to the destiny, to your destiny, has to be quick, but I feel like it's effortless. There's not a lot of resistance. It's quite smooth because maybe you have subconsciously understood that this was your path for a long, long time, and you're just fulfilling your purpose. It's interesting that pile number 1 and pile number 3 have a lot to do with life's purpose. With life purpose and with deepening your connection to your destiny, to your purpose, to the meaning of your life, understanding more of the meaning of your ordeals, of your challenges. Why do I have this specific challenge? Why do I have this handicap? Why me in this specific situation? And it's not that you are a victim, but some things can make you quite insecure, can make you quite like doubt yourself. And I think you're going to have the answers to many, many questions. And maybe this quick and very dense influx of information is going to feel like unreal. It's going to feel quite unreal, but it is real. It's more real than what came before, actually. 3 of Cups. I feel like this brings me to pile number 1's reading. I feel like there's something similar in the energy, and I will keep things here because I think that there's a lot of energy already here. There's a lot of information that can come from what I said already. And I think that what ties this, neatly like into a bow is this feeling of the connection with, it's the synchronicity. I don't know, I haven't read this anywhere, but I feel like 3 of Cups to me has a lot to do with synchronicity. Whenever I feel the energy of the card coming up, I sense that, and especially lately, and specifically in these 2 readings that I did today, so pile number 1 and pile number 3. So the synchronicities will be so obvious, and it will be impossible to miss. It will feel like the perfect match comes, the perfect alignment. So it's also emphasizing the importance of the 25th, something on the 25th of January, because this is the day of this planetary parade. It might also be a good day to celebrate, maybe something needs that energy. And if you keep that positive vibe, something happens near that date. So near the 25th of January, something important. There's a connection with someone important there also. So maybe a very important contact that you're making, a very important connection. Yeah, I think the combination of this reading and pile number 1 is quite interesting. I feel like the energies are quite seamless, so if you're interested. I was trying to see if there's something else, but I feel like I've said so much already and it's super powerful. So, but is there something else that I feel like there's just a small detail that you might need? 7 of Pentacles with healing. So maybe when you are presented with that vision, like, oh my God, this is happening, this could happen, this is happening, it happened, it's this very quick succession of events. The advice here is that if it is a little bit overwhelming for you and you don't have like an immediate answer and you feel like it's too much responsibility, or it's something that is like too much of a departure from what you were doing before, the cards are saying that you can take time for yourself. You can take some of the resources that you were using to put into your devotion, to put in your work or in your relationship, in this specific endeavor. You can take some of that time and resources and use it for yourself. And it's not because you are indecisive. You can say like, I'm not indecisive. I just need to understand what's happening. And I need to channel my resources in a way that I can be sincere and that I can be honest. And while also keeping your feet on the ground. And maybe humble. Maybe this is also the way to be humble, because maybe you are going to have so much praise and it's like filling up your it's not just your ego, it's your self-esteem, and that's very important and it's very positive. But it's more like this sense of, oh my God, what I do is so important right now. Like if I make a mistake, it will just ruin everything. And I don't think that's true. I think that maybe it's not as important if you experiment, but the thing is, you need to experiment maybe with yourself first. It's like you need to be prudent with your energy. And I don't think it's because you're making a mistake. I think it's just because your energy you will need to kind of recuperate. You will need to replenish your energy, because this might be a little bit draining and you might get tired. And that's not if it turns into an unhealthy dynamic, it will ruin everything. So it will ruin the experience for you also, because I think you're supposed to take this as spiritual medicine and not as something toxic that creates new habits and new like compulsions or vices, or oppressive connections and situations where you kind of feel locked in, and to restricted or maybe misunderstood, because it's like you need to consider, you need to have your space and your time. And that doesn't mean that you're saying no, or that you're refusing, or that you are withdrawing your energy. It just means that you need to be grounded and be peaceful, so that you can irradiate and you can shine, and you can give energy freely without any need to negotiate or have it back. Like it just flows, and it's easy. So yeah, celebrating and relaxing, and also taking time, taking resources for yourself, and to take good care of your energy levels and your what makes your body, your mind, and your spirit feel healthy. Beautiful, very profound. So such an exciting time. So yeah, January 25th. I can't wait, and I hope to see some live streaming videos from the planetary alignment. I'm sure it's going to be stunning, and I hope I can share this experience with you. And yeah, thank you so much for this. And if you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I am almost at the 500 subscriber mark, so it's a huge milestone for the channel. Thank you so much for being there. And yeah, I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.